The cure to self-hate is love. Hi, you guys. My name is Guru Shakia. For those of you who don't know me, welcome. For those of you who've been rocking with me for a while now, I'm greatly appreciated. I'm trying to stay on top of getting these self-help and motivational videos to you guys. And I'm coming from you from sunny ass Florida. I just came from skating. I'm really hoping to get you guys footage of skating. But today we're discussing self-love. I did make a video in the past with a friend I met from the skate park about what is self-love, and I also touched on self-love in many of my self-help videos. But today I wanted to touch on it again because I was thinking as I was meditating today in the park, I was thinking of how everyone that I grew up around and everyone that I hang around today have very poor self-body issues, meaning they're either anorexic or they overeat, or they don't eat enough, or most of the people I know are just trying to be slimmer and not in a healthy way. I even struggled with some things in the past where when I was going in high school, I would skip breakfast and lunch. More so, it was partly because I was scared of the crowd, but also because I know growing up, my mother always said something about my weight. It never seemed good enough. But thinking about that today, kind of made me think like, man, does anyone love themselves? Does anyone treat themselves with respect? Does anyone, is anyone okay with how they look, okay with how they talk, how they dress, how they present themselves? And I feel like we are challenged on a daily basis, between us and the world, us in society. Like, maybe some of you guys heard of Alicia Cara's, Scars to Your Beautiful, where basically she's telling women and people all around the world that you're beautiful just the way you are, and society can, basically shut the hell up and like change his heart and stop being so cruel. And what we have to realize is that on a daily basis, it's not our fault. We've been conditioned to believe that we're not good enough. As I touched on in previous videos, whether it's through magazines, whether it's through television, whether it's through being called, being bullied in the past, by sexual traumas, by rape, all these things can condition you to feel self-hatred. Even a lot of minorities deal with problems of being darker, having a darker complexion, wanting to bleach their skin. It's not your fault. It's more so society and everyone around us is taught to hate ourselves. On a daily basis, it's like we practice, maybe not everyone, but a majority of people, we get into an actual practice of hating ourselves, telling ourselves that we need makeup, or we need to be slimmer, we need to look this way in order to be loved, to be liked, to be wanted. And that there's nothing wrong with progressing to be better or striving for more or being healthier, but it gets dysfunctional when we start to say, well, we're never good enough, we always have to change in order to be accepted. And embarking on a journey like that and practicing those kind of rituals actually causes these self issues, these hatred, because instead of practicing embracing who we are and embracing the color of our skin, embracing how our lips look, embracing our hair or our pudge in our belly, we're practicing the opposite. We're telling ourselves constantly, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good enough. And and so we constantly walk through the earth in this plane of life feeling like we're worthless. Now, we can start practicing counteracting these habits that we learned and we've been conditioned to believe, by realizing that these are false beliefs. A lot of the ways that we think is very unrealistic, everyone trying to have a Kim K body, for example, or Beyonce body, or look a certain way, they are them. You are you. You have been gifted a whole set of curves, of skin complexion, of hair, for a reason. Not everyone's meant to be the same, meant to walk the same walk, talk the same talk. For one, the world the world will be lacking so much originality, and you are put here to spice up the world, to spice up the pot of this melting pot. And what we're doing every day when we tell ourselves we're not good enough is we're taking away from our authenticity and our originality. And really, it's our God-given gifts. We were sent here with this whole vessel that was created for us to take part in this play of life, in this form that God has chosen. I always like to say, to change what God created is kind of saying God messed up, and I don't believe God makes mistakes. But everyone could see it in a different way. But again, we can counteract this by realizing that our beliefs are conditioning, and that society plays a big role in how we view ourselves. It's not just you just woke up one day and you're like, oh, I hate myself, I hate my skin, I hate everything. No, society has been telling you repeatedly, your parents or someone who was hating on you, been telling you repeatedly, you're not good enough. So you start to believe that. And this is not anyone's fault. It's not your fault, because it's kind of like Jesus said, they know not what they do. Misery loves company, etc. And people teach you things that they've been taught, and it's like the blind leading the blind. Nobody knows what the fuck is going on. And most of the time we are going by television, by the media, and things of that nature. We live in a society that cares about the standards of the media, meaning who looks best, who wore it best, who did this best. So that is what our standards are going by, and a lot of times it's very unrealistic, and it creates unhealthy relationships between ourselves and other people. Oh, it's a lot, you guys. But basically, realize that it's false beliefs, that what you're thinking from this perfectionism mindset is unreachable, it's unattainable. And realize that who you are now is perfect in a way. It is perfect, because this is you. This is your authentic self, is perfection already. So kind of like, it's like having a masterpiece made, right, by an artist. Let's say Picasso designed you, and then another artist came in and was like, nah, I think this is fucked up, you should change this. But no, you would insult the artist who created that, that masterpiece, by going in and changing things. Now, that's not to say, oh, you can't have an avatar, like get tattoos, dye your hair, things of that nature. I think people get that mixed up. Or you can't express yourself through makeup. That's not what I'm saying. It's more so of understanding that it's okay to be you, and you don't have to be anything else in order to be liked, and embracing who you are. Like I always say, your hair, your skin, how you talk, how you walk, your sexuality, everything about yourself is lovable already. And someone loves you, whether you believe it or not, how you are right now. You're someone's dream girl or dream guy, how you are right now. So trying to change, even for someone to like you of the opposite sex or the same sex, is very damaging, because someone could love you exactly. Someone's out there looking for someone just like you. Just like, for example, men or women feeling like, oh, who would like me if I'm too tomboyish, or I'm too such a tomboy, or I do this for a living, or I go this place to hang out, or I like the company of these people. Chances are someone likes you just the way you are. So again, you're robbing even the people who already like you you're robbing the world of getting to know you for you, when we practice self-hate. So start practicing self-love, and basically, it sounds cliche, but telling yourself in the mirror every day that you're perfect just the way you are, by actually starting to give yourself permission to love your voice, to love the way you walk, to love your hair, to love everything about yourself. Now, it may feel wrong or conceited Or maybe someone in your past may have told you, oh, you can't be putting yourself on such a high pedestal because it sounds conceited. But this is people who hate, for example. Um, what you have to do is love yourself anyway, regardless of what people tell you unapologetically. Um, so yeah, it's like some people may you have to start putting yourself speaking highly of yourself, not creating this like, oh, I'm not good enough attitude. Give yourself permission to thrive, permission to be beautiful, permission to accept yourself as you are. You don't have to always change. It's kind of like that quote too. You're not obligated to look pretty, to be fit, to eat a certain way, to be liked, to be vegan, or all these things. Someone likes you just the way you are. Like yourself just the way you are. God likes you just the way you are. We have to start teaching ourselves and our children these things, and realize that society is in the wrong and not us. But yeah, you guys, that is just another rant of self-love. I hope this helps someone. Peace.